So I'm gonna do Llama versus some DPS characters in this video. So we're gonna do Skirk, Mavwika, Mulani mostly, just because I think, you know, I've been using her in this one specific AoE chamber, and it's been incredibly hard for this character, right? Obviously, there's a reason for that. It's an AoE chamber. You're trying to use hyperbloom. That's insanely hard for her, right? We're gonna go against the AoE chamber, and we're gonna actually use a Nilou team, which should give us a pretty nice time, which should also reflect, you know, comparatively to other DPS characters. It's a little off, but, you know, it's just what we're gonna have to do, honestly, because it's genuinely, it is awful. This, you know, trying to do this, pretty awful, because this will put into perspective how good Lauma really is, honestly, and I think that kind of does, you know, it's an important thing to know at this point, because, well, I probably could have done Kokomi first, then Nahida. Let's go ahead and do this, and then we come. I don't get stun locked. All right. Did she just lose her fish because she got? Yeah, she did. She lost her jellyfish because she got stun locked. Great. Thanks, Kokomi. All right. Well, come on. This is just awful. Okay. Yep. Yep. Just dance. Just dance. All right. Let's go ahead. Go ahead here and. Come on. Well, let's go. I'm not interested in ow. Why do you do this? There's just no need. There's just no need to be this bad. Like, you're so awful. Why? 98,000 crit on the bloomed core damage there. Gonna go ahead and do this. Lauma. Go ahead. And we can see this. I would restart if this wasn't, this is a little awful, if I'm being entirely honest. I don't know, man. This is just, can we get this over with? No, we can't. All right, we're gonna restart. Literally, worst run I've done. Like, genuinely, trying to do this, worst run I've done. I don't know what it is. I got a minute 30 time with her hyperbloom, which was the entire, you know, thing that I wanted to do in this video, but then I was unable to recreate it. So I don't get it. I do not get why, you know, just when I come to record and, you know, show off what I found. No, no, you're not allowed to do that. I think Lauma might be a little camera shy. So let's go ahead, everyone, hold her hands and stuff, or whatever Nahida said, and yep. All right, I love getting right out of a burst animation, getting stunned, and then yeah, just go, please go. Oh my god, dude, this is I hate this chamber because it's pure stun lock hell. All right, let's go. Come on, I would really appreciate if that Crocodile Dundee motherfucker came over here. You know, it'd be nice. All right, there we go. I don't know, did we get below a minute? No, but that's fine. That's a close enough clear time to whatever else I get, so let's go ahead and do that. So a minute 10, right? You could give her a minute, because if we go ahead quickly here, I do have level 8 talents. You know, you do have a little bit extra damage you could grab from this, you know, 60%. So 60% of 400, well, all right, let's do the math. So it's actually 56% of, you know, 444. So that actually is an over 10% DPS increase. I'm just going to do that off the top of my head, because it'll be 56% over this. So, you know, 90,000 hits, you know, most likely would start hitting 100,000. So, you know, there is something to gain from leveling this up twice more. So that's what you should be looking at when you look at her thing. I would love to have her at double crown, but I've used all my resin in Nodcry. This nation has sucked me dry, and it's like there's no government, and I feel like I'm paying taxes. I don't know. The only issue with using Mavwika and Skirk here is that I have both of these characters C2. You can't really do much, you know, about it. I wish I could disable constellations. It'd be nice for testing purposes on videos, but we will be testing Mulani also. So yeah, let's go ahead, hold E, Q, and yeah. All right, there we go. Oh wow. I forgot. Yeah. Oh, yep. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, chat. Even if she wasn't C2, I don't think Llama stood a chance. What? All right. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, chat, Llama didn't stand a chance. Like, there was no point where Llama stood a chance. So, like, a 45-second clear time. No, 35-second clear time. Okay. Yeah, Llama, sorry, you didn't do that. Even without C2, she's still stomping on her. Like, what realistically, I think 70% attack and her C1, I guess, would have been sort of in effect there. Like, important to note, this isn't trying to put down Llama, right? I'm just purely looking at it to compare to see where she falls in my sort of tier list, right? So I'm not trying to put down Llama in any way. I'm just trying to figure out where I would put her. And I mean, you know, while, you know, Skirk is, again, C2, I don't see a world where Llama's even coming close to that. I don't. I was pressing, you know, my click button and they were dying in 2 seconds. I feel like burst animation was what held me back there. Llama, not so much. You know, let's go ahead, grab up these buffs now. Now this is gonna be a little tough for Mavwika because she's gonna front load a lot of her damage right here. So we're gonna wait. Then we got that, this. And we're just going to keep going. Yes. All right. Let's grab this. Yes. Oh, he's going to. Yep. All right. So, we see, I think a 30-second clear time. So, sure. 28-second clear time. Something like that. Okay. Yeah. Again. Yeah. So, I think we understand why I was not so, like enamored with her, you know, like I wasn't like, oh my god, you know. I think we can kind of understand why that was the case, rather than, you know, everyone else apparently who used her was like, you know, oh my god, this character is broken. You know, I use her and I get double the clear time of my best characters. So, you know, I get C2. Like, Mavwika's not doing that stuff, you know, C0, right? I just stopped caring halfway through because I realized, oh, they're all dying. Yeah. Alright, so here's a character who isn't C2, and, well, she's gonna probably do a lot better than, Llama, and the thing is, Llama could get her signature weapon, and she wouldn't do that much better. Mulani would get her C1, and she would start deleting phases of this. So, I just want to preface that, because, like, that's what would happen. So let's go ahead, E skill on that, Q skill here. Yeah. Mavwika does come in and help us out quite a bit here, though. So let's go ahead here. And we got another one because the enemies were so close together. I'm going to do a Q here. We're going to pop a Q here. Yeah. And let's see. What do we got? And let's go ahead here. Boom. Yes. And get out of here. Alright. I'll go ahead and do this. And I'm going to do this. And, so again, okay. I mean, we saw clearly, like, oh, yeah, less time. You know, using a C2 Mavwika. Sure, whatever you want to say. Whatever you feel comfortable saying to make Llama feel better. I'm not gonna use Anefa because it has the damage bonus right there with 75%. I mean, dang, I really Kenich. Sure, let's try Kenich. Now I'm not gonna do the thing with Kenich where you can technically get Eon-san to activate scrolls, but let's go ahead here and see what we can do on just this sort of, you know, on just this. I still, like, this should be worse, because I want an example of a character who's worse than Lauma, right? That's what I'm looking for here. This should be worse, you know, because now we're seeing the effects of him being a very uncontrollable AoE character, right? So we're seeing the effects of that. And, yeah, this is not good for Kenich. Sure, whatever you want to do, okay. Alright, not bad. Okay. Let's go. Okay, well, that's a bit of an issue. Bennett didn't have his burst. And for the final bit here, about the same. But Kenich doesn't have really room to improve. And, you know, that, yeah, see, this is the issue, because I'm giving, you know, Kenich, he has his C1, right? Should have his weapon, but he has his C1 because I got a double multi. And when you see these characters who have like this strength, right? Like when Kenich here, he comes over and he's like, oh yeah, I have 100% crit damage on my C1. What does that do to his, you know, crit damage here? So this right here is a 3 times modifier. So basically what this, so because this is basically 293% damage, right? And then you basically bring it up to 393%. So you basically are getting 25% extra damage just for having a C1, right? Llama does not have something like that because they wasted her first constellation on healing. So this is a huge issue, right? And I really feel like, you know, this weapon, I mean, given the fact that going from the free-to-play weapon to the non-free-to-play weapon, you know, with her signature was, you know, a 12% increase. This character, like, I mean, yeah, this is kind of like where she is. Like, this is why it seems like this character is a lot worse, at least to me, than a lot of other people. Because while Kenich had a load of issues during that, the man still got like the same clear time as Lauma. And you give her a weapon that's probably going to have a less than 10% increase towards the team's damage. It's not going to work out well. Like, she's going to get better, but it's not going to be like, oh yeah, good job, Lauma. It's going to be, all right, Lauma, you're better than Kenich, right? Which isn't, you know, like, to say anything's bad. She's still in the top 10, and she's a support. Like, I guess we should understand she's a support, right? She's, you know, this is support, but right now, you know, I'm kind of having to push back against the people who say constantly that this character is, like, by far, like, one of the best characters in the game. You're an idiot for saying don't summon on her, right? Like, you know, I look at her and I'm like, all right, you're doing good. Let's see how you hold up, right? Like, I'm imagining the main purpose of this character is to sell Neff. The main purpose, right? She can sell herself, right? She was a main part of the story, right? Like, she could sell herself. But, you know, or maybe it's a sort of synchronized, like, symbiosis of, like, oh, I'm going to sell Nefer and Nefer's going to sell me. Probably is what it's going to end up being, because Nefer is going to be very attractive to a lot of players, and then they're going to realize they need Lauma, and then Lauma players are going to be like, oh, wow, Nefer is their best team. Grab Nefer. I imagine that's how it's going to go. Like, I might as well go ahead and test Verissa now. So, yeah, I mean, we shouldn't have too much of an issue. Now, Lauma, her best team is single target, you know? That is important to note. You know, this is her best team, single target. But right now, guess what kind of content we don't have in the game? Like, what kind of content? Like, I would love to be testing out right now. I would love to be testing out a certain type of content right now, but I literally can't because it doesn't exist in the game in a high difficulty form. Like, I genuinely, it's annoying. It's more annoying to me than it is to you guys. Like, when did I switch to Verissa? What? I'm supposed to be in Mavwika. All right, let's get in here. Yeah, sure. Okay, that's awful. This is awful. Yeah, just, yeah, but pretty awful. We're fine though. Okay, the chat, what is happening? What? Let's restart. Let's restart. I swear, like, I switched into Mavwika, but apparently I switched into Verissa that one time, and then it's just like, you know, everything has gone to pee-pee. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Yes. Because we were doing pretty good, honestly. All things considered, we were doing pretty good. Yeah, Verissa is doing very good. Yep, love Verissa. You know, just going across the entire, you know, region to, you know, figure out what your enemy is looking like. Where is your target? All right. Well, I keep forgetting to do that. All right. Let's do this. Okay. Grab that. Grab this. And let's just go ahead and do this. There we go. All right. Not bad. Verissa, again, though, let's talk about how much weapon improvement she can have. I think it's from some numbers I've seen, it's over 30%. Other numbers I've seen, it's like 28%, right? There's a 28% increase, and she still got less than a minute. So, yeah, I do not see this character above, you know, right now. I mean, again, single target is where she's strong. Single target is where the content matters. But in terms of single target content, you know, if I wanted to seriously take her in, I would have to go ahead and get all the way. No, I can't, because you have to get to the cactus, and the cactus is not a boss that's good for this, you know, character. And then chamber 2 here, again, Dendro res. Like, it's chamber 1, Dendro res. You know, chamber 2, Dendro res. Chamber 3, this guy needs super freeze, right? You need to be freezing him and stuff, and like other things. Cactus boss, I don't know how well it's gonna work because you need Hydro and Electro. You can have Hydro and Electro on a Hyperbloom team, I guess, but is it going to be enough damage of Hydro and Electro to get rid of his shield? Because you're not doing Hydro and Electro for damage. You're doing it for, you know, just to, you know, trigger Hyperbloom. Going through the first 2 chambers just to test on the cactus, just to not test like half the teams in the game because the cactus is so limiting. I can't really do that. There's a difference between, oh, you know, limiting boss in Stygian. Okay, in Stygian it's like, okay, 2 minutes in, you know, like that's all it takes. Maximum it takes 2 minutes. With this, you got to clear first half, you got to clear second half, you know, first half, second half again, and then you get to the cactus boss, and then you have to do that all over again just to get to the cactus boss again. So I'm not, you know, gonna sit here and try and, you know, test so limitedly on the cactus boss. It just isn't worth it. So yeah, I mean, legitimately, if we were to rank the deep, like if I were to solely base it off of that one singular abyss right there, Lauma's looking like Kenich level, which is like 8, like that's not good. I mean, I could also take Nevi in there, right? I could take him in there. Only thing, though, is like C2 Shieldon, right? I've tried to stop using my C2 Shieldon with my Nevi because, you know, just to make him seem more free to play, right? So I don't really have a good replacement for him. Or not to make him seem more free to play, but less wheeled out, because C2 Shieldon does increase his damage by a bit, right? So the thing is, though, it's like I really only have the one team. I only have the one team that I can really do. I could throw in like I guess I could throw Mavweeka in there instead of you know, whatever. But again, C2 Mavweeka, right? That's a 10% damage boost. It's an actual just 10% damage boost. Not really much else doing there. All right, so let's go ahead. I didn't. All right, well, whatever. Sure. We didn't get that. All right, let's go. And I love when they lock you into this, right? It's so astonishingly amazing, like how amazing like it is to be locked into a cage and not be able to move, especially when you don't have a healer on your team and hyperbloom, and it's like, ooh, that's really just when it gets bad. All right, so we're 30 seconds in. All right, just getting completely pulverized by AoE. Yep, okay, love it. Oh, okay, yes, perfect. Yeah, love AoE content. Yeah, okay, get you out of there. Did it not absorb the balls? Alright, apparently it just didn't want to absorb the balls that day. Let's go. I mean, it may look like we're doing pretty bad, but, I mean, we did fail to grab Shieldon the first rotate. I'd love to do a charge attack. We did kind of fail to do, you know, a thing. I mean, to be fair, I do have her above, like, Nevi. Like, in terms of Nevi, like, I do have her above him. Like, even without looking at, like, this run. Like, I was... Well, I'm looking at this, right? Yeah, can you just... whatever. Like, well, I was gonna look at this run just to see, right? But I don't... Like, I wouldn't have Kenich above Nevi. Like, is he... I don't know. I just don't... I'm not that high on Kenich. I feel like the consistency of his damage, right? The overall just feel of, like, playing him just does not, you know, feel like strong at all, right? Like if I'm playing Nevi, I'm not, or if I'm playing Kenich, I'm not like feeling like I'm gonna win the game, right? Like a lot of things can go wrong on Kenich teams, whereas Nevi teams, he can just kind of come in here and, you know, slam down on the table, say I'm gonna win this, and, you know, he wins it. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this one more run here. And get you out of there. Gonna try and angle this to where I can actually get all of them. Yeah, go ahead. Alright, here we go. I mean, it's about the same time, honestly. It is about the same time. There we go. Yeah, about the same time that I think the Llama team got, or a little better, actually. But, yeah, I mean... That's what happens. I mean, I would give that to Lauma. Just, you know, Lauma, Nilou, Bloom did that better, I would say. Because, again, Nevi had C2 Shieldon right there. Definitely helped out a lot. I mean, just versus a couple DPSs in a specific scenario, Lauma ranked second last. It's not good for her, but it's also just like, not good for her in general, right? Like, it's just not a good chamber for her, right? Well, I can't say it's not a good chamber for her when she was using Nilou Bloom, right? Like, like, it doesn't show off her single target peak, but in terms of handling AoE, it showed her peak, basically, right? Like, you're comparatively to hyperbloom, you're not going to be running that. You're going to be running Nilou Bloom if you're going with AoE, which, again, how much does AoE content really matter? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. The answer is none. Like, it barely fucking matters. But, I just, I'd love some actual content to go ahead and test, Llama in. But no, for like first week, this character is stuck in purgatory of not being able to be properly tested against any difficult content whatsoever. It's great. Like, I'm going to be able to test her in Abyss before I'm able to test her in Stygian, right? It's so good because I'll be able to test her in Abyss, which is 10 times easier, and then I'll be able to go into Stygian and actually get a result. Why do you start Stygian a week after the update, Hoyo? I don't know what this video really was. I just wanted to, like, look at her. I feel like it's hard to judge this character right now. It simply is, because there's no content in the game to actually put her up against. Like, it really is. Because, like, oh yeah, hyperbloom, it's so good, it's so good. I go against the capybara and I'm like, doesn't look good, right? It doesn't. But then I go against that AoE chamber right there, full single target Yoimiya level, and I got a minute 30 clear time, less than a minute 30 clear time. And that was the initial spark for this video, because I was like, okay, cool. And then, ended up not being able to replicate that. I don't know why. I'm assuming because I got really lucky on her crit passive, which is great because it happened off camera. So it's like the one time I get really lucky on her crit passive, off camera. Don't try it again. Yeah, but overall, yeah, that's what it is. That's Lauma. I don't know. I'm very frustrated with the game right now. Like, I'm not like upset, but like, I'd love to actually test this character and get a proper grasp of where she falls, because again, like, less than 10% upgrade, and like, Verissa beat her and had a 30% upgrade. So I just want to see this character. Like, is this character really all she's cracked up to be? Or is it too many people using C0, R0 characters and not, knowing how I judge characters, or not thinking about how I judge characters and just constantly saying, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Because, like, when I get enough people saying I'm wrong, I generally like to obsessively look into why I'm wrong. Like, I just, be honest with you guys, I do kind of. Like, I'm not seeing a huge reason to why Lauma would be number even above Mulani, right? Because, again, Mulani, AoE, not her strong suit, but man, she stomped out those guys, right? Let me check real quick. I just want to check. Hydro-related reactions. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I did need to check that. Every 3 seconds, possible. But again, Mulani still has her C1, which, every single rotation, at the start of rotation, she'd basically do 1,000,000 damage. So I'm not really too pressed about it. So yeah, this is going to be it for this video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.